Chapter 2, Showin' and Tellin'. The first time I ever remember making people laugh was in kindergarten. Each morning, the teacher would ask if anyone had anything special for show and tell. At first, I was pretty shy about it. I would just sit there quietly at my desk and keep my mouth shut. But there were lots of kids who didn't. Like there was this one kid who we called Weird Peter Donnelly. Every single day when the teacher asked if anyone had anything for show and tell, Weird Peter Donnelly would raise his hand. Mostly he brought in his hobbies. Weird Peter had the stupidest hobbies in the whole world. One of them was collecting different colored sweater fuzz. Scary, right? One day he brought his fuzz collection to school. He kept it in a shoebox. When he passed it around, I felt stupid just looking at it. Then all of a sudden, I got this funny idea. Just as I was about to pass the box to the next person, I pretended that I was going to sneeze. Achoo! I sneezed right smack in the middle of Weird Peter Donnelly's sweater fuzz. Fuzzballs went flying everywhere. The whole class went nuts laughing. Weird Peter freaked out. He ran over to my desk and began gathering up fuzz and putting it back in his box. The teacher told me to help him, but I was laughing too hard to get out of my chair. I had to admit, making people laugh was a lot more fun than sitting quietly at my desk. From then on, I began to use show and tell to tell the class funny things that had happened to me. When I ran out of true things to tell, I started making them up. One time I told my class that my father was Mr. Potato Head. I don't know what made me say such a stupid thing. It just came out. The teacher made me sit down. She said that there was a big difference between show and tell and show and blatantly lie right to our faces. Personally, I don't think teachers like it when their students are funnier than they are. So far, I've been funnier than every teacher I've ever had, and not one of them has liked me. My goal in life is to find a teacher who appreciates my sense of humor. Last year, in 5th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Henderson. Out of all the teachers I've ever had, Miss Henderson is the one who disliked me the most. It makes sense, though. In 5th grade, I was the funniest I've ever been. On the very first day of school, I knew we weren't going to get along. Miss Henderson made everyone stand up next to their desk and introduce themselves to the class. You had to say your name, where you were born, and something about your family. How lame is that? Allison Martin went first. She said, "My name is Allison Martin. I was born right here in Phoenix, and I have 2 brothers." Ooh, let me write that down, I thought. Then Brenda Ferguson stood up. "My name is Brenda Ferguson. I was born in California, and I have a baby sister." And blah, 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 I thought. This had to be the most boring first day of school I'd ever had. After about 6 kids had spoken, I just couldn't stand it anymore. I raised my hand. "Yes," asked Miss Henderson. "You there, in the yellow shirt." I looked down at my shirt. Yep, that was me all right. "Miss Henderson, I was just thinking, maybe we should try to tell something a little more interesting about ourselves instead of just the usual stuff," I said. Miss Henderson considered it a second. Then she gave me a little smile. "Okay," she said. "Why don't you start us off? Tell us who you are and something interesting about yourself." Wow, I thought. Maybe for once I've got a teacher who is actually going to appreciate me. "Okay, I'm Alex Frankovich," I said. "I brought a sandwich for lunch today, and I'd just like everyone to know that my bologna has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. The whole class cracked up at once. Miss Henderson had to beat on her desk with a ruler to quiet everyone down. I almost felt sorry for her. That was before she came over to my desk, bent down next to my ear, and whispered, "I've got your number, funny boy." As soon as she got the class under control, we started all over about the same boring stuff we had been doing before. After about an hour, we were almost finished. That's when I first saw TJ Stoner. He was sitting all the way in the back of the room, so he was the last person to talk about himself. He stood up real slow and cool. "My name is TJ Stoner," he said. "I just moved here from San Diego, and I have an older brother who plays baseball for the Atlanta Braves." Then he sat back down, just as slow and cool as when he'd stood up. I knew right away I wasn't going to like old TJ Stoner. Miss Henderson did, though. She was totally impressed. Really, TJ, she gushed. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about him? TJ stood up again. Well, his name is Matt Stoner, and this is his second year in the majors. He's a pinch hitter, he added. How exciting, said Mrs. Henderson. Do you play baseball too, TJ? He nodded. I'm a pitcher. Last year, my whole team won the California State Championship, and I was voted the most valuable player. By this time, I was ready to barf. I raised my hand again and waved it all over the place. You could tell that Miss Henderson didn't want to call on me, but I was pretty hard to ignore. Okay, Alex. What? She asked, annoyed. Well, I just thought that the class might like to know that I play baseball too, I said. Miss Henderson stared. So last season, I played right field, I told her. I didn't get voted MVP, but I did come in second in the swimsuit competition. Oh my gosh. That did it. The whole class went crazy again. Brenda Ferguson laughed so hard she fell off her chair. Two people didn't laugh at all, though. One was TJ Stoner. The other one was Miss Henderson. I sat down and shut up. I may be funny, but I'm not totally stupid.
My bologna has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My bologna has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that? Oh, I wish you a happy lunch. My bologna has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My bologna has a second name.
It's M-A-Y-E-R.
Oh, I love to eat it every day.
And if you ask me what I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
Quality meat, no fillers. For bologna you feel good about, you can count on Oscar.